Your what?
Your hot dog.
No, you don't put ketchup on. I never put ketchup on a hot dog. Well,
I hate that.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's probably not part of the diet. Here, listen. Hey. You do what you want to do. I'm talking to Warren Honeycutt right now. You're not getting Honeycutt eating hot dogs. Good morning, correct. Warren.
Good morning.
Right? Tell him he's not getting Honeycutt by eating hot dogs.
No, that's not going to work. Everybody tries that and it just doesn't work.
Everybody tries it.
Yeah, well.
How you been, my friend?
I'm doing great, Al. How are you?
Great. You're a busy man.
Yeah, things have really, over the last 4 or 5 months, been hectic, actually. And I love that, though. I mean, it's more people we can get out and reach with good and positive as it relates to nutrition and fitness, the better people feel and the better we all live.
Now, are you attributing the recent surge in being very busy over the last few months due to Big Al? Is that what it is? He's keeping you busy?
That was the beginning of the launch.
Yeah.
Big Al, there was no question that, 2 minutes after I hung up from the interview previously with you guys, which I love being on y'all's show, things went through the roof. I mean, there was just no question.
We launched Honeycutt.
That was it. Get Honeycutt. He talks about it all the time. Oh, and that's the truth. He really does.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. I mean, it truly is, kidding aside, an absolute joy when people take the message to heart and begin to understand, I can make a difference if I make a different choice.
So what are some of these things that we're promoting? I mean, now it's the first of the year. We're just into the new year. It's got to be the right time to make that choice and make that commitment, right?
Yes, it is. And I was actually speaking to a group earlier this week, and that was their question. And my advice, actually the whole gist that they asked me to talk about, was how to keep New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
Because no matter what survey you look at, New Year's resolutions in America always are, this year I'm going to lose weight and get in shape. And this is January 8th. Happy birthday, Elvis, by the way. Being in Memphis, I have to say that.
81 years old today.
Yeah, and it's a state law that if you don't say that, you get locked up in Memphis.
Okay. We don't want that to happen.
No. But anyway, keeping the New Year's resolution, that is a huge, huge issue. And this is January 8th, as we mentioned. Most people have already taken that New Year's resolution and said, what the heck, I'm done. And that, honestly, is a terrible attitude for us, for ourselves. What I encourage guys and gals to do is look at themselves and make a daily resolution. And if you fall off the wagon and say, eat that hot dog, fine, it's not the end of the world. Get back on the horse, say, I'm going to do better this afternoon or tonight. And then after a day of that, you do the same thing the next day. Do it a few times, all of a sudden a week's gone by, and you may not have been perfect, but the goal isn't perfection, the goal is progress. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the week, you look back and go, I ate better this week than I did the week of Christmas, and I didn't gain weight, and that gives an impetus and an incentive, a motivation to move into the next week. Now we're into the end of the month, and you keep that going rather than taking an elephant a year, New Year's resolution, and trying to swallow it in one bite. And that's one of the biggest problems we have in keeping those resolutions. And, when we miss them and we fall off, what we do generally is get really down on ourselves and say, what's the point? I'm going to go ahead and eat that whole chocolate cake. So
gotcha.
that's the one big thing that I see and have seen for the 40 years I've been involved in this fitness and nutrition thing.
Hey, Warren, I'm just curious. What are your resolutions? What do you do? I mean, you're already fit as a fiddle. We know that.
Yeah, well, what my resolutions are, and I apply what I just said, that philosophy, I apply it all the time. And when I mess up, and not necessarily with nutrition, that's on a subconscious level, and so I don't ever think about it. It's already done.
Yes.
But different goals in relation to reaching people, different goals in relation to writing articles, different goals in relation to promoting my book and my business and so on. And every day, honestly, there's never going to be a day, I hope in my life, that I go, today was perfect, it's not going to be better than this, I'm ready to go. And so I do those things on a daily and a weekly basis. And I take a little time to plan. It doesn't take any more time to plan than it does to wish, and we all wish.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that people just, if they'll realize, 15 minutes in the pre-planning, especially, say, in nutrition and fitness, 15 minutes. And the second thing I pointed out to the group I was with this week, when you come to that conclusion, write it down. There's a magical thing that happens when we take pen and paper and actually write it down.
Write what down? What are you saying to write down?
Your goals for the day and the week.
Oh, for the goals. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
It will make a tremendous difference.
Now,
And I must confess, I knew this principle, and it was taught to me 32 years ago. And I go, yeah, that's great. I got a good memory, and if I think it, I'll remember it, and what's the point of writing it down? It was only, Al, in the last 10 years
wow.
that I began actually to write the. Now, I've done okay as far as nutrition and fitness,
I'd say
all
so.
those years prior, but other areas of my life that I wanted to improve on, I didn't really start improving on them until I started writing them down.
Okay.
And
Right
again, when I say something magical, we could get into, and we don't have time this morning, a whole hour on actually what happens with our mind and our attitude and following those thoughts, our actions. But when you write it down, there is a magical trigger.
You know, and it kind of in the same way. Big Al, you and I, at the same time, we used to write our notes on an iPad.
Yes, absolutely.
And I don't know, a couple years ago or whatever it was,
Huge difference.
I went back, because I always wrote it on a legal pad with a Sharpie. I mean, that was my thing. And then I went with the iPad and got into technology. It was the worst thing I ever did. Mm-hmm. I went back to the yellow pad of paper. I write everything down, and it's. You're right, Warren. You're 100% right. Writing stuff down makes a huge difference.
That is gratifying to hear. It really is.
It is. It's true.
That's great.
Yeah.